Another day, more Dota. The Corsair Summer Tour 2013 now continues. Group D is underway. I'm LD. He's a guy in a green shirt with a pop collar. We're going to hop inside the draft.
You told me to.
Yeah, I made him wear it.
Bad influence.
Made him do it. It's Keita Gaming versus Mouse Sports, best of 3. Winner of this match will be in the winner bracket finals for Group D. Same format as all the others. It's GSL-style group, so you just need to win 2 best of 3s in a row. You advance as the first seed. If you drop down, well, you got to go through the losers bracket. 4 teams in total, only 2 will advance, and Keita and Mouse will be our first 2. Immediately following the conclusion of this best of 3, we'll have Empire versus Flipside, and then we'll have one more match, either the winners match or the losers. I'm not sure which. We'll find out later. But Merlini, draft nearly complete. It's some good old-fashioned black anti-mage.
A good old-fashioned anti-mage indeed, and there's no Shadow Demon ban either.
And
makes things easy.
Do you want to go? Normally, Shadow Demon Rupik isn't the strongest, but if you have a black anti-mage, I think it's pretty good.
Keita does have the option of doing a triple lane versus it with Weaver Visage +1. They really do need some lockdown for anti-mage though, and hopefully some more physical damage. Weaver is okay, but all they have right now is Shackle Shot to try and keep him in one place.
Yeah, that's pretty optimistic to be able to kill an anti-mage, especially one of Black's caliber, one of the best carry players in the Western scene for sure. Doesn't normally get caught out too much. That's going to make their lives difficult. I don't know what that one hero would be. Anything in mind for Keita? They have a natural Hex carrier in the Prophet, so that could help them in the mid game. A Magnus.
Lion's not bad. Lion has very long disable, and they don't really have a great way to interrupt it, but again, I think they may have a lack of damage incoming, especially with just level 1 spell shield. He should be able to tank up, and sometimes he just pairs up versus Nature's Prophet, and anti-mage will crush Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, if you're Keita Gaming, you do not want to give away that 1v1, because that's a matchup Black should be very comfortable in. He'll farm freely, and their other heroes aren't particularly easy to gank. Lone Druid, if you scout well with the Bear, Keita's heroes aren't the best at smoke ganking, so they pretty much have to come at you head on. That's going to make life difficult. They'll go for a Bounty Hunter here. No direct disables to speak of, but you get track. You can punish split push a little bit better. And they might be able to keep up with Black if they can find some track hold.
It's a decent pickup here. The only problem is going to make their laning a little bit awkward. I guess they can do Windrunner, Reaver, Visit triple lane, and the triple range can attempt their best to try and shut down the anti-mage farm. Bounty Hunter's a pretty good pickup just because you'll most likely be 4v5ing, or 4 Mouse, 5 Keita in like pretty 20 minutes before anti-mage gets his Manta and Battlefield, and you can really punish teams heavily. If you can farm a Scythe up on either of these heroes, or perhaps even Orchid less, much less common just because he can usually split out of the silence, but if you can farm any of those big items, then anti-mage actually becomes manageable. It's very good versus Puck too.
Yeah, Mouse Sports waiting on that last pick. You mentioned the Shadow Demons in the pool. If they want a little more AoE, a little more counter push, they could go for a Twin-Headed Dragon. He's still available. Lena is an option as well for some burst damage. So they definitely have their choices. But Shadow Demon seems like the great safe choice. You give a Rubik lift, and of course, you have Shadow Demon Disruption. Very hard to go in. They will favor the burst damage, a slightly stronger tri-lane, more damage early on, and a bit more killing potential for Mouse Sports. They can contest a bit better, but for Mouse, I think their goal is just not to lose too many towers, not to give away too many track kills. Even if they lose the laning stage, they've definitely got the superior late game.
Yeah, it was a good move by Keita to ban out that Keeper to the Light. Keeper to the Light can almost always delay the game until anti-mage gets his farm. But most likely we'll just see a 4 Protect 1, as typical from Mouse. And how about Keita? I haven't been watching too much. How do they usually
These
play?
Are Blitz Dota yesterday. He said that 4 Friends and Krilly is the 2nd best team in Sweden. I disagree. I think Keita Gaming is. But 4FC has been playing a little bit better as of late. Keita Gaming, they are Swedes. They'll be matched against the Germans here. An age-old enemies, you must say. We'll see how angry they are at each other. But they've got my favorite player in terms of names in the European scene. It's Maglev Gank Train.
Is good.
That name legit or what?
Yeah, he's pretty legit. He's always on the live games type. He always plays. Kid plays Dota so much.
We'll introduce the teams now. Again, it's a best of 3 Mouse Sports on the Radiant side, and they are going to be the favorites for sure in this best of 3. Black, Anti-Mage, say no more. Keita, playing the Lone Druid, usually the offlane player for this team. Pass on the support Rubik. He plays a mean support Alk, but we won't see it this particular game. Cinderin himself, the captain, the drafter on the Lina, and Fata playing the solo mid puck.
And on the side of Keita, we have your LD's favorite player, Maglev Gangtrain, to Picker on Weaver. We have Steph Style on Visage, Flux, Plux, Windrunner, Saiso, Nature's Prophet, and last but not least, a stand-in, Zap Crash on Bounty Hunter.
Okay.
And we see a ping out from Maglev Gangtrain. They really want to put a lot of pressure on these anti-mage early. We've seen what Black can do with 15-20 minutes free farm, and it is not pretty for the other team, ever.
They have a very strong tri-lane. You mentioned 3 ranged heroes, also just 3 great harassing heroes. Windrunner probably one of the best harassing supports in the game, especially with her auto attack. Great animation, good damage. Weaver, very hard to lock down. Could get caught by a lift, stun, and maybe burst down if Sakuchi's on cooldown. But a hard-to-kill tri-lane, a good war of attrition tri-lane. Their kill potential isn't that high to me, but at least not at the early levels. There's not that much lockdown, but there is a lot of burst. And off the bat, Maglev going to be a complete nuisance. Sakuchi in, backing off.
Check these wards out from Keita.
Did he place that while he was Sakuchi?
He placed it right before Sakuchi, I believe. And they actually can't see either of them. So, unless Cinderin lays another one very, very soon.
Oh, how mad is Cinderin right now? Places a sentry, doesn't get either ward, and now on the run. Shouldn't die here, but will take quite a bit of harassment.
Yeah, he could easily die. If Flux Plus had thrown out a shackle there, I think it was almost bad news bears for Cinderin. Also, Rubik is by far the weakest hero in this lane. Only Tangos and a Branch, already sitting at 449 HP. He is definitely the target of choice if they can land a shackle or even a Grave Chill on him. Grave Chill skilled at level 1 for Steph Style.
Yeah, he's also their get out of jail support. He's the one who's got the disable that gets you out of trouble, the lift. So if you go on him, not only is he the squishiest, but he's the one that can save his team. If he's running, he's not saving his team. So we'll see if that works out for them. The mid lane, Fata on Puck. He started with an early Null Talisman, just wants to snowball and kind of dominate Saiso out of the lane. And we'll see if he's able to do it. That lane fairly even. And then the Lone Druid off lane versus a safe lane Bounty Hunter has been pulled some regen. How do you feel about the lane so far?
Well, I'll just go through like the goals and lanes of each of them. So top lane is
fantastic.
It's just Keita versus Zap Crash. Both of them just going to get a decent amount of farm. Neither of them should die. Zap and Crash, all he needs to do is get level 6 and then move around the map. If he rotates bottom once he gets 6 and all 3 of those heroes are still there, it should be guaranteed track kill, maybe 2. It's just so extremely easy to tower dive once you have that track. And they have Weaver too. Weaver, one of the best tower diving heroes. So expect LD to come out on top in CS there. And
I always come out on top. No surprises here.
And then in the mid lane, it is Fata's Puck versus Saiso's Nature's Prophet. So Fata definitely should have the upper hand in this matchup. He has more AoE, he has better attack animation, a little bit more base damage. Saiso may be able to have a little bit more or better rune control with the teleportation and the Force of Nature. I see lift on bottom.
Yeah, they're going in on Flox Pucks. He's been lifted up. He will win right out. Now Black dropping low. He's got a blink. We'll deploy it now. If the Weaver's level 2 there, I think he might have died, but the entire tri-lane of Keita is actually still level 1. Pos level 2, Black level 2, Cinderin level 1, but once they hit level 2, they might be able to go for a kill if Mouse goes for an aggressive play like that.
And then they just want... Ooh.
They're going in again. They'll lift him. What a light strike array by Cinderin. Maglev juking one direction, blinking forward as Black. He'll get the last hit and secures the kill. Actually, Pos got the last hit, it looks like. That was an incredible light strike array, because that Weaver ran like this. That was a very awkward direction to run. Normally, you just expect him to run straight up, and he gets him anyway.
Yeah, I would not expect First Blood to go in favor of Mouse here. They have some pretty good coordination, Moss and Cinderin. And they've been doing a good job of staying way far out of range. And Windrunner being caught once and Weaver being caught once by the weak Rubik, I think their position could be a little bit better. They should come out on top. In theory, come out on top. Keita should.
Yeah, I would have given them the edge as well in the tri-lane. Maybe not to get kills. I don't think they have the best killing tri-lane early, but definitely to out-harass and out-farm Black. But now with that First Blood going their way, things looking good for there. And the 2 solo lanes. Keita is dominating 17-5 already. Your solo mid Puck 15-9. They are winning both solo lanes and now the tri-lane. This is a recipe to lose a game, Merlini.
Yep, and Black getting pulled this formation, we almost always see this in the anti-mage safe lane, and it just helps so much, especially versus 3 ranged heroes. And that is part of the reason why it's so difficult to shut him down. The Portman shield on a melee hero is just so extremely powerful, combined with pooled regen from Cinderin and Pause. If you go through your initial 2, you just buy them a few more, and almost always you can get your Ring of Health before you're in any significant trouble.
They're going in again. There's your lift. The Light Striker once again on the mark for Cinderin. Maglev looks like this time he'll get away, but he's being driven back. Black blinking forward. Could have gone for the kill. Backs off. A little bit indecisive here, Black is. Maybe trying to wait for some backup from his team. He gets it. But I don't think they're going to find a kill in the end. In fact, Maglev wants to come back in. I think one of the issues here is that Mouz have had a sentry ward up in the lane, and there's no sentries on Keita or there actually are sentries, but they're not dewarding it. This is really hurting the Weaver.
Yeah, well, I mean, Black's getting very good farm. The 901, I guess he was just tied with Maglev Gang Train just a little while ago. Oh, on top, let's see. He gets a root. No sentries on him. I guess he's not
even
supposed to
even if you root the Bounty Hunter, he's still got 8 armor. Like, it's very hard to kill that hero.
It's so annoying for him.
Yeah, he is getting harassed a lot. That's the good news for Keita Gaming. They do, at the end of the day, have a great ganking line. A Prophet can TP in, Bounty Hunter, or teleport in. Bounty Hunter can TP in, and you could have 5 heroes to set on this lane, maybe finding track kills on the supports. But for the time being, they're sitting back. When it comes to levels, they don't have level 6 on either of those solos. So
yeah, they're very close. They definitely should put a lot of pressure and rotate. If neither team rotates, Mouz comes out way ahead just because they're simply winning the lanes already, and Keita's lineup depends on getting a lot of kills with the track and with the extreme mobility from the heroes and dive potential. They should definitely try and abuse it.
Normally when you run an aggressive tri-lane, the goal is to pick strong solos that can win the 1v1 matchups. That's one of the big benefits, is you ensure that you get 1v1s, because in most cases, they want to defend their tri-lane and make sure their carry gets farmed. But in this case, their solos, the Prophet, the Bounty Hunter, are just not the strongest 1v1 heroes. So it is definitely a weakness of their draft. I think their tri-lane could have gone better. I think that's the big issue in this game.
They expected to
so
win this aggressive tri-lane, and with no rotation and nothing super out of the ordinary, no rune from Mouz, and I mean their wards didn't even get dewarded. I'm not exactly sure why they placed this one so far back here. It's a little bit unusual because you can't see anything at the tower. You might not even be able to see Cinderin at his position right now.
I guess the idea is that it doesn't get dewarded, but if it's a useless ward that doesn't get dewarded, does it really help
They can see when the creeps come to lane.
That's very true. For the time being, Black is continuing to farm. 13-3, not great farm for him, but considering they found a kill in this lane and considering he hasn't died and their 2 solos are winning, Mousesport's in great shape. And like you said, the pressure's on Keita Gaming. At some point, we will see a rotation. When you pick Bounty Hunter and Prophet, that's just inevitable.
Yeah.
But
it's level. He's level 6. It is nighttime. It's time to go, Bounty Hunter. Start moving. I'm surprised he wasn't checking the rune on top lane. If he got a haste or DD, any of those, I think would have just been a very easy kill. He also does not have a TP scroll, and I would like to see a rotation from him because he can't really do anything versus a lone druid. He's not shutting out on far by any means. He's 35-12, and he's not going to be able to kill him unless he gets extremely lucky or Quickfoot is extremely careless. But he's in Bear 4 now. Super tanky, 1200 HP, and he's trying to make a move on Quickfoot up top.
You know, either rotate the Bounty Hunter to the bottom lane or send the tri-lane supports top. You got to move somebody. Like, the Bounty Hunter could maybe get a kill on the Lone Druid with help, and Quickfoot is playing rather aggressively, so I wouldn't mind seeing them just leave Weaver here, and then, or, you know, the Windrunner or something like that, and rotate the other 2 top, but they have to make a move at some point. They will pause now. Gives us a chance to let you guys know that there is a Dota TV ticket giveaway. You can head over to gc.corsair.com and you can enter for a chance to win some free Dota TV tickets for this tournament. There is an Elgato Courier available for Beyond the Summit. If you watch this tournament and you have a ticket in Dota TV, you get views. You get a Silver Owl after, I think it's 50 or is it 60? Something like that. Anyway.
Hoo-hoos.
Woo.
Hoo-hoos. Who doesn't love hoo-hoos? So going back to this game, I think everything's going the way Mouz plans. Like, they're winning both of their solo lanes. They're putting a lot of pressure on their solo heroes so that they can't really rotate as early as the triple lane would have wanted. They've won the triple lane. Black's getting some sort of farm, and he hasn't died. That's pretty much all you want to accomplish by first nighttime.
I mean, I think there's 2 main issues here. One is I think their solos are a bit weak. Prophet versus Puck. Maybe you can break even there if you play really well with your Tree and Harass early on, and at best you break even. You're not going to dominate a Puck.
I've actually seen Nature's Prophet do decently versus a lone druid. You just like right-click the trees on him, similar to how the bear right-clicks on you. So
I guess the issue is the Bounty Hunter's not going to beat a Puck mid.
Yeah.
Maybe in the side lane you could do well, but mid's very hard.
He could be super pulled, Black style.
Yeah. So the draft gave them weak solos, and then they gave up a kill in the tri-lane. I think, and you also did point out that like the warding wasn't really the best to maybe set up some early tower dives. I thought they could have been a bit more aggressive on Cinderin at level 1 just to really force him to use a lot of regen and play more defensively, but They played it just, hit him a few times, then back off.
Right. Then maybe they could have. They approached very strangely into the jungle too. They approached like. They weren't in fog. I think if they just like hid there and just got a little bit of vision with Weaver, they could just like pop out Grave Shield and just instantly kill someone. And Mouz was like a little bit spread out at that time, and not getting a first blood in their triple lane and giving it up yourselves is just extremely detrimental to this sort of lineup. It really needs to be executed properly, because if things don't go particularly well, if you start losing your solo lanes, if you don't kill anti-mage, you're just going to flat out lose, or the momentum's going to definitely swing into other team's favor around 15 to 20 minutes mark. Mouz definitely has, I guess, the easier lineup to execute. Keita, the real pressure is really on them to find kills, to make things happen, to shut down Black's farm during this first night time.
Absolutely, and I like the fact that they've made some rotation of some kind. They've rotated Steph style top. These two, I don't actually know if they can kill the lone Druid, though. Koikva is sitting on 1200
maybe
HP.
with Nature's Prophet rotation,
That's
though. He
true.
has everything up. He has full mana, but Koikva is in a very safe position.
Yeah, good position from him, sitting very far back. The one other thing in this tri-lane I didn't like from Keita is they didn't give, well, just sort of their warding. They didn't place any wards to see the runes, and Nature's Prophet, normally a great solo mid to actually control the runes, because like you said, you can TP in. You can still send your trance to scout them, but it's a little bit just easier if you can TP and actually grab one instead of being forced to deny it from the enemy solo. And they've let Synderen walk around to get the runes solo. When you run the aggressive tri-lane, normally you can control the runes at the bottom lane, but not the case here.
I like also how Fata has 2 TP scrolls on him. He is ready to counter gank in case they put pressure on Koikva. And they've been in pretty defensive position, relatively close to the tower most of the times. And Fata is just content to farm mid. Hey guys, if you don't go aggressively on our teammates, I'll just farm up Blink Dagger, no problem. And then once he gets his Blink Dagger, things are really
Coil deployed mid, Syso in trouble. The orb's gonna connect. Fata with the max silence doing a lot of damage. He'll bring him down. And he's going to get a double damage rune bottom. Actually, sorry, scratch that. Black to take it. But that's yet another rune going to Mouse Sports. You run a solo mid Prophet, you really think you get at least a few runes, but Mouse Sports, they pushed the bottom lane, so the tri-lane couldn't really grab it. Well, call it a dual lane now, as Steph Styles top. And then Prophet, no vision, can't TP to get them.
They have no wards up, and it's been a couple minutes since nighttime hits. Mouse has been doing a much better job about it. They have this one ward on bottom to spot out a rotation.
They've rotated in the Bounty Hunter. This could be the start of something big. There's your track kill. It's going to be on Synderen. He will go down eventually, and they get 3 heroes track gold, I do believe. Now Maglev on the chase. Black blinking backwards. Blink still cooling down for 9 seconds. This is something they could look to dive quickly. He tangos out through the trees, but dropping low. Do they continue the chase? They've got another Sakuchi, but Black should be okay.
I'm surprised Fata didn't TP in, considering he had 2 TPs on him. I guess he didn't have Dream Coil, but it still would have been nice. And
I think he was also out of mana is the other issue, I believe.
There's a lot of damage coming out to this T1 tower, and that is very bad for Mouse. They really need to take control or keep control of their jungle. Need to stack a little bit with their supports. Just get Black that ridiculous amount of farm that he usually gets. But these supports are very, very weak. If they TP in right now, they are just dead unless Fata goes in first.
Even though they got that first blood, they were not pulling or farming at all, really. Black going for a tower deny here, won't be able to secure it. I actually think Keita is, despite not having the very strongest start, overall they seem to have a clear game plan, which is take some early engagements, get some track kills, and push some towers. They're getting levels on their Visage, very important because they need that burst to secure track kills in the mid game. So overall, I think their start was a bit questionable, but their execution here as we approach the mid game has been pretty solid. And if they keep it up, they still have a shot.
Lone Druid is going to be one hell of a bear, though. Looking at his items right now, he has dual boots, he has minus up, and he has 800 gold. So this is what happens when you're forced to rotate. And I think they've gotten a decent amount out of the rotation. I still say it stands relatively even at this point, but Koikva might snowball out of control pretty soon. And if you keep Black down, you're probably going to let Koikva free farm, and vice versa.
Speaking of Black, he has hit level 6.
There's a coil mid.
Oh, there's a coil mid on site. So Fata gets sprouted under tower. That ain't going to help you against the puck. He will go down. Could have maybe TP'd out. Was there anything else to stun him? I guess he was just too low.
Yeah, he was just a little bit too low. They need a ward in middle, and very nice job by Synderen. Placing a sentry here, noticing... Oh,
they're hunting Black. There's the track. He's got a blink somewhere where he can't be Shuriken tossed. He doesn't, and now he's probably going to go down. Shackle's there. Thought that one would connect, actually. There's your Shuriken, a big kill. And although Fata's rotated in, I don't know if he can get any kills without Dream Coil. He'll need some backup to do this. Although it is a level 4 Sans, maybe he can just kill this Weaver. Maglev's pretty squishy sitting on agility treads right now.
Yeah, I think he has a little bit too much HP.
He might.
If he
He'll
had
probably.
magic
Oh,
stick-
he'll go for it
there
now.
goes.
Just enough damage, it looks like, unless he can time lapse out. He
so
was
close.
mid-cast animation,
I
but
think
couldn't get it off.
I think he actually could have Shikuchi to dodge that attack and then time lapse. But regardless, just a little. I'm surprised he doesn't have magic stick. He's versus triple lane.
Yeah, that is surprising. Black Kid Magic Stick is his first item in the tri-lane.
Mid lane.
They're going in mid. They're going to lift up the Nature's Prophet, but there is a backstab coming through, and it's from your Bounty Hunter. He's found some squishy heroes. Synderen, no boots. Wisely, Zap Crash will choose the squishier, easier to kill target. Where's that Fata TP? It's coming in now. Shuriken tosses there. Synderen low. Prophet ult bouncing through. This isn't going to be enough to get the kill, though. And Saiso caught out again. Great puck play. Fata seems to be always in the right place at the right time. He drops the coil. He is dropping pretty fast. He's out of mana here, but Zap Crash will be forced back. While that was happening, the Visage actually cleaned up Synderen with his familiars on the backside, so well played by him.
Good rotation by the familiars. Well played. Well played
But
indeed.
I don't think anyone was actually in range to get track hold there, unfortunately. So they get the kill, but no track hold.
Well, Bounty Hunter gets it.
Well, yeah, that's right. The Bounty Hunter gets it regardless, but the
Yeah.
nearby allies were not nearby.
Well, speaking of track gold, let's check out the gold graph right now. Wow, still 4,000 gold in favor of Mouz, and that is just Koikva farming like an absolute champion in top lane. 2,200 gold. He's going to have like a 17-minute Midas Radiance if he keeps this up.
Yeah, that Midas Radiance build has really seen. Well, Lone Druid isn't getting as much play in general, but when he is seen played, we've seen almost every Lone Druid player is going for that build. The early Midas into a Radiance, and it seems like it's actually working out pretty well.
Yeah,
I feel this hero is just a bit undervalued by the
It
competitive
is
scene
definitely
right now.
undervalued. Midas Radiance, I mean, Lone Druid was super popular even before Armlet was popular, and I don't know, I think people just underrate him heavily. Look at his tankiness, look at his amount of lane control. He wins most 1v1 matchups, and he just pushes towers down like an absolute beast and making split push such a possibility for them. I see Zap Crash going on and Lone Druid on top, but again, he's super tanky, and he's so close to his tower most of the time, and oftentimes you just die trying to gank him because the bear just crushes you while you focus the bear, or focus the hero.
And Fata already has his Blink Dagger. This could be big trouble for our Weaver. Maglev now a Bracer up, and he's a bit tankier, but I don't know if it's going to matter. Can he Sakuchi out in time? He's got Sakuchi. He won't use it, and he'll go down.
This is when you need a magic stick. I think either of those times, if he had a magic stick, he would have lived, and he's just going to be penalized heavily for that. Eventually, Lena's just going to be able to destroy him in nearly one combo.
Meanwhile, Prophet and Bounty Hunter are just on a stroll together. These guys like long walks on the beach. Zap Crash and Saiso hanging out mid lane.
Got that oof from the Bounty Hunter. Everyone wants in on the oof love.
Merlini here went on a long walk on the beach yesterday.
Oh, with my one and only true love, LD Dota.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Synderen mid lane gets tracked up and probably going to fall. That'll be a track kill for 2.
They had a sentry ward earlier. I think he felt that he was safe, but just a little bit unaware that it had ran out. Feta trying to kill this Visage bird.
Is there a
Pinging out
resummon?
on it.
There is. Give me that gold. Give me that gold. Is it going to be resummoned? Fata working on the bird. A few more auto attacks. It's dropping really fast. And he will resummon in the end.
And
I can't blame Fata though. Those things are just walking bags of gold if you catch
know.
them by themselves.
you can bait those so hard. Is Quickfoot's bear gonna go down on top lane?
It's too tanky.
Oh, I thought he had max shuriken though, but he actually went for a 2-4-1 build. Very unusual. Most of the people we see get 2-2-2 just because level 2 shuriken toss, 200 damage. You only get 50 and 75 for the next 2 levels. And
Yeah, it's a bit unusual, and especially in this game because you're not gonna. Unless the lone druid is significantly worse than you, or just you got a DD rune at level 1. You're not gonna out harass him. So
yeah.
You max Janata, that's much more of a harass build. A little bit surprising to see.
I like Keita's positioning right now. They almost always have heroes occupied on bottom. Sometimes when we see heroes take down T1 towers, they don't actually go and press the issue, take control of the jungle. You need to occupy the jungle. Reminds me of Occupy Wall Street for some reason, and just shut down Anti-Mage's farm. They've been doing a fairly good job of it. Black has died once. He only has treads and perseverance, but you have to keep up the constant pressure on him. Always stay in their jungle, have wards up before the opponent's team.
And there's that crash. Blink, coil, silence, death. Easy. Yeah. This is something Na'Vi has been doing very well, especially in the Alienware Cup, was when they went aggressive, they would stay aggressive. They put down aggressive wards, they smoke it through the enemy jungle, they farm the enemy jungle, also not only to kill enemy heroes, but just deny them access to the comeback mechanics like neutrals. So it's smart aggressive play from them. However, Mouse is not dying nearly enough.
Oh, Synderen or Black's in big trouble.
Well, there's your Shackle. Won't actually connect on Cinder. Now the Swarm comes through with the Familiars and a Soul Assumption. There's your burst from Keita Gaming. They find a nice kill on Cinder, and he continues to struggle. 0 and 4 for him. Pos, stolen soul assumption, could be pretty big. One familiar. Maybe in trouble. No, they'll both be okay. They're able to fly away. And while that's happening mid lane, Saiso somehow has found himself next to Fada at Fada's tower, and now he's in a whole world of trouble. There's a Blink Silence cooling down. This is the death of Saiso. Blink, Silence. Still not there. Now it's coming. There you go. The orb as well. But Saiso will magic stick up. The last hit will bring him down. And orbs away. Great play from Fata. He looks like winning this game first.
He is in big trouble unless he gets a phase shift blink out very soon.
He's got an orb. He's dodges the Shuriken Toss. Now he should be fine. In fact, there might be a turnaround coming. Oh, it could be Cinder and he gets turned around on. No, Laguna to the face of Maglev. Gank Train continuing to get picked off. However, Cinder is going to give away another 3-hero track kill. But this Lone Druid has not been dealt with. Now he's got a relic.
Trying to play aggressively on Steph style.
17 minutes in, the Lone Druid has a relic and a Midas. The Radiant's coming soon, and Black will be okay.
Yeah, I mean, they've been trying they've actually been doing the 4v5 strat with anti-mage pretty much being the brunt of most of the ganks. But again, leave Black alone, Quake's just going to dominate, and then once that happens, Lone Druid is just going to put pressure on all your towers. You're forced to defend. Anti-mage will eventually get his Battle Fury and his Manta style. And Keita, they're doing a decent job of aggression, but they're not ahead in kills right now.
There's your Blink, Coil mid lane, Fata doing work again, blows up one, Passa's there as well, secures the kill, and now Saiso in trouble. He's stolen Sakuchi. You can't keep a good Rubik down, at least not that easy. Fata hiding in the tree line. Where are the familiar stuns? None being attempted. Now in Orb way, he could be able to blink very soon. Blink cools down. If he needs to blink, he will, but he won't. He'll get out. The familiar stuns were very slow there. I think he had a chance to actually kill Fata.
So Keita needs to take this T1 tower out. Because of this, they can just always huddle up this hill, and this is such a good defensive position for Mouz. And with the blink on a puck, they can almost always initiate on Keita, who does not have a T1 tower up there. And I think that constantly searching for engagements in this area of the map is not good for Keita, just because they can drop one sentry ward, they de-warded the observer, and they can scout bounty hunter, all with one great sentry ward and good positioning. And it looks like Zapcrash.
Another blink, another silence, another orb, and all of a sudden, another Keita hero on the run. You are definitely right that it's one of the harder places on the map to get kills, but at the same time, they're kind of stuck here, Merlini, because if they want to kill Koikfa, they have to send probably 4 heroes, I would say, to do it. At least 3, maybe 4, and that means Black will get to farm. They got to choose something, though, because they're not killing Black and they're not killing the Lone Druid.
Take control of, like, this area of the map. If you can take control of your jungle and then 3 of the camps, that's still pretty good. And Black can't farm up that fast. He doesn't have his Battle Fury yet, so they can still play a little bit of the farm game go and just put a lot of pressure on the bounty, or with the bounty hunter.
How dare you?
Oh, Saiso.
You said Black doesn't have his Battle Fury. In fact, he does. Screw you, Merlini. He says Saiso's going to get caught mid. Fata, that fresh, shiny Dagon pickup won't help him now. In the end, Steph Style picks up 2, turns 2. The Lina finds 1 kill before going down. Cinderin able to retaliate back, but while this is happening, even if Mouse give up some kills on their utility heroes, the Puck, the supports, the Lina, and the Rubik, the key thing is Black's farming and Koikfa's farming. And really, at the end of the day, that's all they need.
And 1,600 gold.
And Midas.
And Midas.
And Tranquil Boots. He's got it all.
He's so stacked right now. This is just incredible farm by Koikfa.
This bear can go into hibernation because he's already eaten enough food to last him a lifetime.
Okay, time for him to fight. Here comes a big bad bear.
Yeah,
run away.
There's your familiar stun. Will prevent the further initiation. Maybe not, though. Black blinking forward. Mana Void. That'll find 1. Now, an Entangle on Maglev could prove to be his own demise. There's Sakuchi stolen, I believe. Our Rubik now on the hunt. Time-lapsing backwards is the Weaver. It looks like Maglev should be able to get away, but all he can do is scurry. No Pass on the hunt. Track is on him. Maglev should have a slight move speed advantage here when Sakuchi's cooling down. And it looks like in the end, he will get away.
So the way they're playing Nature's Prophet, they're playing it like a very typical solo mid, like Storm Spirit or Queen of Pain. He's like not really using the global kink that much. He's not split pushing and farming, and I would have liked to see a better combative hero, Keita.
Yeah, meanwhile, mid lane, there's a big engagement. Cinder, it's blown up 1 with a Laguna. Now he gets shackled to a creep. Will be going down, but makes a big play there. Effectively secures 2 kills for his team. The Bounty Hunter and the Weaver of Keita will fall. Now Pass next in line. It's 3 heroes dead for Keita. Sure, they get 2, but they're still not killing the anti-mage. They're still not killing.
Here's the big bad bear.
And now Koikfa says, I'm hungry again. I'm out of hibernation. I want some honey. Give me all your food. Your sweetmeats, your beautiful women.
Who needs track gold when you have Midas gold?
The key thing is that everyone's getting gold. In Western Dota, it's all about the farm. I mean, we did talk about this, though, is that's one of the few things I think the Asian teams are... Well, one of the main areas where the Asian teams really struggle is to be as efficient. And sometimes being greedy is a good thing. And I think some of them are, especially the Chinese teams, just not greedy enough. But you can see here, Mouz, very greedy, but intelligently greedy, and it's paying off.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. We see a lot of Asian players run or go for early BKB when it's not really necessary. But
it's safe.
It is very safe. But then you have no deeps.
Yeah.
You need the deeps. That deeps.
Well, Fada's going to jump in now. He's got a Dream Coil. He's got a Dagon as well, but he'll orb away. Just some simple pressure from him. I feel his puck has been playing. It's been a magnificent puck.
That's not what we see from Asian teams. Asian players do not play like Fada. Fada has just been running around the map everywhere. He doesn't actually kill people a lot of the times, but he's just ever so annoying. He just goes in, just dumps his damage in. Oh, look at this.
There's your track on Fada now on the run, but he is going to get caught most likely. That's a solo subsidy. Phase shift dodges it while it's happening. Black finds a kill on the Weaver bottom. Now a coil on a few. Is he really getting out of this? The shuriken toss comes through, not using the phase shift there. Now he'll use it. He's got a blink prepped. He'll blink south, and it looks like he's going to live orbing as well. Magnificent puck play, and then I jinxed him, and he gets hit by the last power shot. I don't know how much track hold they actually got there. They were pretty far away, but they finally killed him, and immediately Fada says, I'm buying back. And he actually bought back and poured it into his orb.
How annoying is Fada?
Oh, no, he TP'd in. Sorry, he TP'd in there.
And Mouz got a lot out of that. They were able to free farm middle, they were able to free farm bottom, get a kill on the Weaver, and take a T2. So even though Fada bought back, they still, I think, came out ahead on that engagement. If he didn't buy back, they would have definitely come out ahead.
You know, going back to your point that that's not what we see from Asian players as far as this aggressive style, I think Mushi is an example of a player who will play this aggressively.
Space creators. They don't have space creators.
Yeah, I think Mushi, when he's solo mid, is the kind of player that will do that, and a lot of their supports are super aggressive, like Net, Extinct we've seen for RNG sports, but especially someone like LGD China, DK, very passive play from a lot of their 3, 4, and 5 position players.
And they don't put themselves out on the line, and they don't reap those excellent rewards of space creation, free farm in the other 2 lanes, pressure off your carry heroes, and I think that's definitely one thing that Mouz excels at, especially Fada.
You also can't get away with this kind of play if you're like a Dragon Knight or a Beastmaster. So part of it is the hero selection. If you pick,
they love their DK though.
Yeah, I mean you can do some stuff with DK along those lines, but you can't go for the big YOLO plays, and that's what Fada's looking for now. He jumps in. Well, maybe a little bit too YOLO. He's going to phase shift. In comes the swarm, and now, well, we're jinxing him.
That is a YOLO play. Anti-mage going to town.
Meanwhile, Saiso getting picked off at the top lane. Once again, Black. Well, you shut him down for a while, but once he finally does get that space,
yeah, he's 4,000 gold. Battle Fury, Yasha. They tried their best, but it's just a train wreck waiting to happen when Spirit Bear has that much farm. Like you just can't do anything about this bear now.
Unless he feeds it to you twice, you get 600 gold and it's on the
There's one.
sidelines. There's one. The resummon's not available yet. He does have an Aegis. I wonder if he'll resummon. There you go. If he dies again, it's going to be trouble, but he's got backup in tow. Cinderid's here. In comes your Dragon Slave. And again, while it happens, the Black continues to farm.
Farm up, he will. He's 4-1. He started off 1-1.
The Havos.
Now he's 4. Now he's 4-1, and now Nature's Prophet is just food. He can't split push because Anti-Mage will just destroy him. He only has Mech as an item. Again, I would prefer a different pick just because Nature's Prophet does not have that much control. They rely on control from other heroes. The Spirit Bear under heavy fire. And
now Cinderid on the run. The Familiar's giving chase. Can they actually make something happen here? Doesn't look like it. Black still push out mid, still on the retreat, and now Sakuchi stolen once again. There's the Familiar stun.
Too.
Does catch Cinderid, but yeah, Pos, can he get away? That's the big question. Koikfa coming in wall track. Does Bear pretty low? Eats the Soul Scepter, still alive, and there's your entangle. Steph Style probably going down. Steph Style no longer. That is 2 Bears lost for Koikfa. No Bear for a minute, but it's now 3 a.m. Black on the hunt. Hasn't even popped his Manta yet. He could look to do it now. Blink into Mana Void. He's too late. Fatsa having all the fun. And so Black says, I'll Mana Void that guy instead. He gets the Saiso profit.
And
GG indeed.
Well, pretty typical strat from Mouz. Keita just did not have the coordination or the laning presence to deal with it. And even though it may seem like a 4 protect 1, it was really a 3 protect 2, I suppose, or just 4 protect 1. First protecting the Lone Druid at the start and then shifting to the Anti-Mage. So Mouz is fairly transparent with their strategies, but the problem is they're just so good at executing it that it's very difficult to break and punish.
You know, if we compare sort of their creativity to sort of their stability, they're a very stable team. They're good at doing what they do, but they are predictable. You pretty much know what's coming from Mouse. It'll be a hard
Right.
carry for Black, something that scales very well into the late game. A Prophet, a Lifestealer, a Lone Druid, almost like an Admiral Bulldog type of hero for Koikfa, usually the choice. Once in a while he plays a Darkseer, but that's more rare. And then it's Fata, who always plays the tempo controlling mids. The Puck, the Keita Pain,
He's so
the
good on
Magnus.
those heroes too.
He's one of the most underrated solos.
He's
in the
improved
Western
so
scene.
much over the past few months, and I think before he was just like a little bit unconfident and he couldn't make big plays, but he just creates so much pressure around the map and makes so much room, creates so much room for Black and company to farm.
So we're heading into game 2 now. It's going to be Mouse leading 1-0. What do you think that Keita Gaming needs to do differently? For me, I feel like they just need to draft stronger lanes, especially the
Right.
solos. Like, I don't think you can get away with a Bounty Hunter and a Prophet against Mouse Sports.
I don't think their triple laning skills are good enough to contest a triple lane versus Mouse, especially with, I mean, Cinderin and Paz played very, very well on the Lina and the Rubik. So I think what they need to do, it'd probably be a better choice to try and outgreed Mouse, which may sound difficult, but if you can get a first pick Alchemist and contest and just safe lane trade-off, we've seen that many times, and some people still underrate Alchemist on the safe lane. Just max greed and just absolutely crush them in like 20 minutes or so before the Battle Fury Manta hits on the anti-mage.
Right.
Then you can really take it out, and Lone Druid can't stand up versus a triple lane in the off lane. I mean, if your supports are decent, then he shouldn't be able to get anything, and then it'll just be anti-mage versus Alchemist and trade farm. It'll be okay, and pick a stronger hero for mid so Fada doesn't crush you as the Puck.
Well, guys, there you have it. Merlini's game plan, his
Farm.
sketch.
Counter Black's farm with
We
more
want
gold.
farm. We want gold. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be live with Keita Gaming versus Mouse Sports. Game 2. You've been watching the Corsair Summer Tour 2013, brought to you by Beyond the Summit. There is a Dota TV ticket giveaway. For more information about that and how you can win a free ticket for this tournament, head over to gc.corsair.com and check out the info. But with that being said, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll be live with Game 2. Mouse leading Keita Gaming 1-0.